So Gable Steveson just recently had his MMA debut a few days ago at the LFA, and it was a great performance. But can he become the UFC heavyweight champion? That's a big task. And I don't know how his career is going to progress. I don't know if they're going to rush him in. There's still 5 weeks left in the Contender Series. I don't think they're going to put him in like the last episode. That would be too soon. But they could put him up against a bum, and they could do what they did with Bo Nickel, like what they did with Gable. But unlike Bo Nickel and some of these other guys, Ryan Loder, Gable could have a lot of success and beat up a lot of heavyweights in the UFC roster that I'm just looking at. He could. He's going to be like the next DC. Dare I say, even better. Because I think Gable is a bigger freak athlete than DC was. Physically stronger. Much better accolades in wrestling, without a doubt. And he was 20 years old and he won Olympic gold when he was 20. I mean, not a lot of people can say that at heavyweight. At heavyweight.
Trying to show no respect for Gable. Gable mixing it up. Single leg snap.
Single leg snag takedown. Against a bum, okay? Don't pretend like he's going to do this against everybody. It's going to be harder in the UFC. But when I watched this live, it didn't even look like a single leg. It just happened so fast. I'm like, wait, what the fuck happened? And then we're not going to watch the rest. He just ground and pounds him, and the ref calls it off. His physique, his genetics, I think he has the potential to be champion. He's not going to fight Aspinall, right? Because it's way, way, way too soon. Don't count the chickens before they hatch, Aspinall might not even be champ. He might retire by the time Gable is rising up in the rankings in the UFC. And I think the smart choice for Gable, fight a bunch of bums in the regional scene like this, 4 or 5 fights extra, go into the UFC next year in the Contender Series with a record of 6 or 7-0, beat the bum at the Contender Series, and then get signed to the UFC. You're going to be signed to the UFC 8-0. You're going to get paid peanuts. It's going to suck for the next year. But you're going to make a lot of money when you come out of it. Okay? You are. Now let's talk about the heavyweight landscape right now. Because I don't think the heavyweight landscape is going to change all that much 1 year from today. I still think Tom Aspinall is going to be champion. That is, if he hasn't retired. I don't think he's going to retire anytime soon, but I did watch that interview saying that he's not going to be fighting people that entered his house, which is kind of a weird thing to say. So he's not going to be fighting Ante Delija. He's not going to be fighting Mick Parkin and a few other guys. He'll beat Cyril Gahn. He'll do the rematch with Volkov, and then he'll probably fight Jelton Almeida. And after that's done, there's really nobody left. And there's nobody left up and coming either. Unless Walter Walker. Walter Walker's like the only guy, but Walter Walker still has to get through a lot. And I think Walter Walker's fighting Muhammad Usman now, which is such a weird, horrible fight. But anyways, the heavyweight landscape. When I put so much confidence into a guy like Gable Steveson, I'm doing so in a aspect because I could see Gable beating up guys like Tai Tuivasa. I could see him beat up guys like Hamdi Abdul Wahab, Muhammad Usman, Chris Barnett. A lot of these unranked fat heavyweights, Gable could beat. Like those guys, they're not special. They're really not. They're like, oh, well, they have experience under their belt. They're not. When you think of a guy like Mick Parkin, do you see Mick Parkin beating up a guy like Alexander Volkov? No. There's no chance. A guy like Tai Tuivasa, another example. Do you see Tai Tuivasa beating anything that isn't anorexia? No, I don't see it. I hope they don't rush him. I hope the UFC doesn't do what they did with Bo Nickel. Please don't do that. Please don't do what they did with Ryan Loder and how he gets destroyed by Azamat Bakoyev. We have a real contender here. Very exciting contender. He is 1-0. Let him blossom. Let him grow. Don't rush him. Because as a heavyweight, he doesn't need to be as skilled as guys in the lower weight divisions. He doesn't. He just needs to pick people up and ground and pound them. That's really all there is to it. It's as easy as that. He doesn't need to practice his head kicks. He doesn't need to practice his heel hooks or his Kimuras, all that. Well, Kimuras, yes. He could practice Kimuras. He doesn't need to practice a lot of these other things that guys practice. Practice checking leg kicks and then go for the single leg, slam them on their head, and then ground and pound to beat the shit out of them. And do that until you get a title shot and become the champion. It's really that easy. You know? It's that easy. He has the strength for it. So I do think he can become champion, and I will be watching very closely. Now, the bad thing is this. There is a bad thing. He has been in and out of a lot of different career paths. He tried football, he got kicked. He tried WWE, got kicked. He was supposed to have a grappling match with Craig Jones, but his toe hurt. And now recently he was on Ariel Helwani talking about how Craig Jones was trying to fix the fight. I don't know who's telling the truth. I don't know why Gable would lie about that, but he has some lying tendencies. Let's just put it that way. He has some rape allegations, okay? Don't know if they're true or not. They're just allegations. But yeah, that's the thing. I hope he sticks with MMA. Please don't branch out to other things. Just stick to MMA. You should already be booking your next fight with some other bum at LFA. Beat him. Become the heavyweight champion at LFA. I don't even know who the heavyweight champion is. Let's look. Who is the LFA heavyweight champion? Beat the champion at LFA. It's Denzel Freeman. Let's take a look at Denzel Freeman. Okay, yeah, he's 6-1. He beat Steven Asplund, the guy that just got signed in the Contender Series. Oh, okay. So he, beat Denzel Freeman and then go to the UFC next year in the Contender Series. Beat up 4 other bums, space them out over a few months. Go to the Contender Series next year, year 10, season 10. And then reign supreme, because you'll be like 26. You'll still be very young. Gable, if you're watching this, you're not going to make a lot of money in the next year. You're not. But when you get signed to the UFC, you're going to sign a very lucrative contract, I imagine. Probably a big contract, like an 8-fight contract. You don't need 8 fights to become the champion. You just need like 4 or 5 fights, because the heavyweight division in the UFC is not getting any better. It's only going to get worse. Tom Aspinall will probably be looking to retire because he's going to be smoking all of these guys that challenge him. You're probably going to get a title shot against maybe Jailton Almeida 2 years from now, and you're going to be making big money then. You're not going to go back to the WWE. You're not going back to football. There is nothing left for you, Gable. This is your destiny. And I'm excited for it. I'm very excited for it. Gable Steveson, 1-0. I'm hyped. That's all I got for you in this video. Peace out. Subscribe. You motherfuckers, subscribe.